Hey beauties, welcome to Midday Motivation. I am Hope Knowles and I am here to get you motivated. We are at the beginning of the year. It is a new year, and with a new year comes resolutions, it comes goals, it comes commitments, all of that good stuff. Like, you be trying to get your life at the beginning of the year. And not only is this a new year, but it's a new decade. So you really trying to get your life. But what is so sad is that most people will have given up on getting their life before the end of January. That's right, before the end of January you will have quit. And there's a couple different reasons why people quit. I mean, there's more than a couple, but there are two main reasons. The first one is you have all of these dreams, these aspirations, goals, resolutions, whatever you want to call them, and there's no plan put in place on how you're going to make it happen. Yeah, no plan, no bueno. You're not going to do too good. So if you're somebody that suffers from making a plan, then go ahead and watch Be Smart. It's all about setting goals and putting plans behind those goals. So once you get through with this video, check out the Be Smart video because it's going to be really good. Really good. Check that out. And so the next one is that you stretch yourself too thin. You try to do everything at once. Like, you got all this energy, like it's a new year, new you, and I'm gonna get everything done in January. Bam! And you burn out. You crash, you burn, you hit the wall. It's over, sis. Bam. Yes, that's what happened. Like, when you get a fresh rubber band out the pack, it's all springy, and whatever you put it around, it's gonna hold it real good. But over time, it's gonna stretch. It's not gonna be as tight as it used to be. It'll start losing its shape, and then eventually it's going to break. Well, you're the same way. If you got your hand in 15 different pots and you're trying to do everything, you may get away with it for a little while, but then your performance is going to decrease and you're not going to be as excellent as you was in certain areas. And after a while, you're going to completely just break and fall apart. And I don't mean necessarily physically breaking, although you can. Mental breakdowns are real, but you'll break, you'll give up on yourself, you'll quit, you'll be stressed out, and stress can do all kinds of things to you. It can make your hair fall out, your skin break out, it can make you lose weight, it can make you gain weight. So you're just setting yourself up to, on February 1st, to be like, I didn't make it happen, and living the same life that you've been living. And that's not what we want. So what I want to talk about today is how you can start small and end up not quitting and accomplishing these things that you set for the next year. And so the way you're going to do that is you're going to think win. Yes, think win. Type win in the comments for me. And yes, you want a winning attitude. Hashtag winning. Everybody wants to win, but I'm using win as an acronym, and win is going to stand for write it down, intent, and never give up. So we're going to go through each one of those. So the W stands for write it down. So you're going to write down everything that you want to accomplish in 2020. Nothing too big, nothing too small. Write it all down. This is also going to be a running list that you're going to keep going throughout the entire year. So you want to have it somewhere where it's easily accessible and you can get to it at any given time. Because when an idea comes into your head of something you want to accomplish, you want to be able to write it down immediately so you don't forget. So that way, when it is the appropriate time, you can go back and work on it. So electronically, there are so many different versions you can use. Dropbox is good, Google Drive, Evernote. I love Evernote for taking notes, and you can sync all of those across multiple devices. So if you're just writing it on your phone, but maybe you use a tablet or you have multiple cell phones and you're not using something that you can sync it, that could be a problem. So that's why I would suggest something like that. If you're doing a paper version, just make sure it's something that you're going to keep with you. I do mine on paper, but I put it in my planner, and I take my planner with me everywhere I go, so I always have it. So W is write it down. You're going to have this whole running list. Now for the I, that stands for intent, meaning you're going to look at your list once it's done, and you're going to choose one thing, one thing that you are most passionate about, because you're going to be most intentional about making that happen. Now, if you're someone that's really good at goals and keeping them and doing the things that you set out to do, you can do more than one. But I don't suggest trying more than 3 things on your list at once. You want to, again, start small, and then as you accomplish one thing, then you can add something else on your plate, or as you get good at the process, then you can add something else on your plate. So you want to do 1 to 3 things off your list, and that's going to be your initial focus. And again, I strongly, did I say strongly? Yeah, strongly suggest that you start off with just one thing. So for me, one thing that's on my list is to lose weight. Enjoy is cooking healthy meals. I told y'all before, I'm a fat girl in my heart. In my soul, I am a fat girl. I love food. I am not one of those people that says, I don't live to eat, I eat to live. No, I live to eat. I love food. It's not just about keeping this body functioning. Like, I love food. I love to sit down and enjoy a good meal. But I know that I can't eat anything that I want. I know that I can't eat unhealthy food every day, because if I'm putting toxic things in my body, I'm going to get toxic results out of my body. So it brings me pleasure to be able to cook healthy meals that taste good, because I don't believe your food should taste like cardboard. No, aka turkey bacon. It's cardboard with salt on it. So I believe in cooking healthy meals that taste good. So I'm going to start out with meal prep. That's going to be the first thing that I'm focusing on, is making sure I'm prepping my meals, because if the food is in there, I have no excuse. There's no reason for me to stop and get fast food or order takeout or anything like that, because the food is already prepared. So that's going to be my focus. Once I do that, that's when I'll start really focusing on the weight loss, because I will have started seeing some results from that. I will start seeing myself feel better. I have more energy. I'll start seeing some pounds shed, because when you go from eating cake for breakfast to eating a healthy breakfast, and yes, I've been eating cake for breakfast, not every morning, but sometimes, yes, it's the holidays, you will do better. So you want to have intent and choose what you're going to be intentional about over your list. And then the last one is the N, and N stands for never quit. Yes, that's right, never quit. That's the whole purpose of this video. When January 31st gets here, we want you to still have this same momentum. When February 1st gets here, we want you to have the same momentum. When December gets here, we want you to be able to say, I accomplished it, or now I have something else to work on, and have the same momentum and not quit on yourself. But not quitting does not mean that you won't have to adjust. So N is don't quit, but you have to be willing to adjust. Life is about adjustment. Changes come, things change, people change, and you have to be able to adapt and adjust to those changes. Samsung is a great example of that. So they released their first smartphone in 2001. It was not an Android phone. It was actually made to compete with BlackBerry. And I promise you, if I said I had $50,000 to give away and somebody could show me a BlackBerry in the next 5 minutes that they owned, I probably couldn't even get anybody, because don't nobody got BlackBerries no more. It's just an outdated phone. But their first smartphone was made to compete with BlackBerry. Then came, it was June or July of 2007, and Apple released their first smartphone with their whole little app market. So what did Samsung do? In October of 2008, they released their smartphone, and it had an Android market. So they were smart enough to partner with Google in the Android market so that they could offer these apps that were comparable to the Apple apps. Now, they could have stayed stuck in that same mindset and said, we're focused on competing with BlackBerry. And if they did, we probably wouldn't see Samsung around today the same way we don't see BlackBerry around. But because they were willing to adapt and change, let me tell you what Samsung did in 2018. Their profit, meaning what they took home at the end of the day, after all the bills was paid, after all the employees was paid, they made over $50 billion. Now, I know they have other products, TVs and different things like that, but a huge portion of their revenue does come from their phones. $50 billion, and their sales were over $208 billion for the year. I don't know about you, I'll be happy with $50 million. I'll be happy if somebody just gave me 50,000, because it's 50,000 more than I had. But they profited $50 billion at the end of the year, and it was because they were willing to adapt and they were willing to change. They didn't stay in the same mindset. Any successful company that you see, you're going to see them adjusting along the way, changing along the way, and not staying the same, because the times are changing. And a lot of times we'll get scared because you don't want it to suck or you don't want to do bad, but the reality is the first time you do something, it's probably gonna be bad anyway. Like, think about it. Anything that you're good at, you weren't the best at it from the day you started. When you started riding a bike, you failed. When you started walking, you failed. When you learned how to read, it was a stuttering. You didn't know that THE spelled the all the time. You didn't didn't know that CAT spelled cat all the time. Like, you had to work yourself up and graduate and get better at these different things, and it took practice. So don't expect your first run of anything to be perfect. Like, when I look at my first midday motivation videos, it's like, oh my gosh. I didn't have no cover, no thumbnail. It was ratchet. It was like on my phone. The lighting was poor, but I had to go through that process in order to elevate and get to a better process. And then from there, I learned how to edit and all of these different things, but I had to start somewhere. So just understand your first try is not going to be that great, and that's okay. Don't quit, just adjust, figure out what you need to do. If you want to make sure that come February 1st, you haven't given up on yourself, think win. W-I-N. Think it. Ingrain it in your brain, in your heart, in your shanana. Win. You're going to write it down. You're going to have intent, and you're never going to quit. That's right. Because you deserve it. If you don't believe in you, how can you expect anyone else to? You need to be your number one cheerleader. Now, if you love this and you haven't subscribed, I'm trying to figure out what the reason why is. You need to go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. And you need to make sure you click that bell so that you can get up-to-date notifications every time new content is posted. Yes, click it, click it, click it, bam, click it, bam, click it, bam. I'll wait. Click it, bam. Yes, you need to subscribe and you need to click that bell. Also, make sure you are following me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Crystal Clear Hope. Yes. And if this is blessing you, don't just keep all that goodness to yourself. Sharing is caring. Go ahead and share it with your friends, your family, your loved ones. Share it on social media. You can text it. You can email it. There's so many different ways you can share this video, but get the word out. Get it out. Get it out. I support you. I'm supporting you be living your best life. That's what Midday Motivation is about. Supporting you and helping you be your best self. So support me and mine and just spread the word about all this goodness. Okay? We friends, right? We friends? We friends? Like, I'm gonna have to send you the little note like in school. Do you like me? Check yes, no, or maybe. Like, I thought we was better than that. Go ahead and share. But for real, I want you to walk in your purpose, with purpose, on purpose. Remember, no matter what happens, good, bad, or indifferent, you serve an intentional God, and you serve a God that can and will turn it around and make it work for your good. That is what living this whole Romans 8:28 life is all about. I love you so much. You can catch Midday Motivation every Tuesday and Friday right here on YouTube at 1:15. I will see you the next time. I am Hope Knowles, and this has been your Midday Motivation. Bye.